What if I told you that $100 in Norway might vanish before you know it? In many countries, that sum stretches far. Groceries for a week, a fancy dinner, or a handful of experiences. But in Norway, that same bill feels much lighter. What covers a week's worth of lunches elsewhere could disappear in a single afternoon here. The shock is real for visitors and new residents alike. Norway is one of the world's most expensive places to live. Today, we'll uncover exactly what $100 buys you in Norway in 2026. From groceries and restaurant meals to public transport and everyday services, we'll break down the real cost of living. Some prices may surprise you, maybe even make you wonder how people afford life here. If you're planning a trip, a move, or just curious about Norway's high quality and high cost of life, this is your guide. Let's pull back the curtain and reveal the financial realities that await. Norway's high prices aren't random. They're built on high wages, strict regulations, and a commitment to quality. Workers across all sectors earn well, and those costs are passed on to consumers. Stringent food standards and environmental rules mean safer products, but also higher prices. Norway imports much of its food, and with its remote geography, logistics and taxes drive costs up even further. This unique economic structure shapes every purchase. The first place most people feel the pinch? The grocery store. Let's step inside a typical Norwegian supermarket and see how far $100 really goes. Prepare for a new definition of value. Enter a Norwegian supermarket and you'll see familiar foods with unfamiliar price tags. Prices aren't just higher, they're often double or triple what you'd pay elsewhere. Norway's reliance on imports, high wages, and strict food standards all add up. Even basic items like milk, bread, and eggs cost a premium. The person stocking shelves earns a living wage, and that's reflected in your bill. Quality is high, but so is the cost. Let's fill our virtual basket and see how quickly $100 disappears. Ready for some sticker shock? Let's put our $100 to the test in a Norwegian supermarket. A liter of milk, $5 to $6. A dozen eggs, $4 to $6. Bread, $3 to $5. With just these basics, we've already spent about $15. Add chicken breast, $10 to $12, and a small bag of apples and a head of broccoli for another $7. Our basket: milk, eggs, bread, chicken, apples, broccoli, nearly $40 gone. Add cheese for $10, coffee for $8, and we're at almost $60. Toss in pasta and tomato sauce, and we're pushing $70. Want salmon? That's another $15 to $20. Suddenly our basket is sparse, and our budget nearly gone. This is the reality of grocery shopping in Norway. Even Norwegian salmon isn't cheap, $15 to $20 for a small fillet. Add it to our basket and we're over $80 with just a few essentials. In Germany or Spain, $100 could fill 2 or 3 bags. In Norway, it barely covers basics for a few days. Locals rely on store brands and sales to stretch their budgets. The high prices reflect Norway's priorities: fair wages, quality, and sustainability. The sticker shock is real, but it's part of life here, and groceries are just the beginning. Next, let's see what happens when you let someone else do the cooking. If groceries are expensive, dining out in Norway is a true splurge. A main course at a casual restaurant, $30 to $40, drinks extra. $100 might cover 2 main courses and a couple of soft drinks, no appetizers, no dessert. Add a glass of wine, and you're over budget. Eating out is a special occasion, not an everyday event. Norwegians mostly dine at home, making restaurant meals rare and memorable. When they do eat out, expectations for quality and service are high. In Norway, a simple dinner out is a deliberate, costly experience. Even casual dining in Norway comes at a price that surprises many. A simple pizza or burger meal can easily cost $20 to $30. What's cheap elsewhere is expensive here. For families, eating out is a major event, not a routine. That's why most Norwegians prefer home-cooked meals, saving money and sharing moments together. In Norway, even a simple cup of coffee comes with a premium price tag. Norwegians are among the world's most avid coffee drinkers, and cafes are always bustling, despite lattes costing $5 to $7. With $100, you'd get about 16 cups, barely 2 weeks for a daily drinker. But for locals, the cafe is a cozy escape, worth every krone, especially in winter. In Norway, buying coffee is more than just a drink. It's an experience. Cafes create a cozy, koselig atmosphere where people linger, relax, and connect. But with high prices, each visit is a special event, not an everyday habit. Many Norwegians become home baristas, savoring quality coffee at home and saving cafes for special occasions. After navigating Norway's high food costs, you'll be glad to know public transport is efficient, clean, and reliable. In cities like Oslo and Bergen, buses, trams, metros, and ferries connect almost every corner. A 24-hour pass costs about $10 and offers unlimited travel, great value for exploring. With high parking costs and easy ticketing apps, public transport is the smart way to get around. Taxis in Norway are shockingly expensive, among the highest in the world. Even a short ride can cost $25 to $30, and a trip to the airport might eat up your entire $100 budget. Most locals avoid taxis, relying on public transport instead. Unless it's an emergency, stepping into a Norwegian taxi is a fast way to watch your travel budget disappear. Driving in Norway is expensive. Rental fees, fuel, tolls, and parking all add up quickly. Fortunately, affordable alternatives like bike and scooter sharing have become popular in Norwegian cities. The best strategy: walk, use public transport, and try bike or scooter shares to explore like a local, while saving money. In Norway, even simple personal care like a haircut comes at a steep price, reflecting high wages and living costs. A basic men's trim can cost $30 to $40, while women often pay double. Many Norwegians cut their own hair to save money, just another way the high cost of living shapes daily life. Norway's alcohol prices are a shock for visitors, thanks to strict government control through Vinmonopolet, the state-run liquor monopoly. High taxes and limited access mean some of the world's priciest drinks, beer, wine, and spirits, all cost far more than in most countries. As a result, Norwegians often gather for pre-parties at home before heading out, making every drink a deliberate choice. Buying a drink at a Norwegian bar is a shock. Prices are sky-high due to taxes and staff wages. A single beer can cost $10 to $12, and cocktails even more. That's why many Norwegians pre-party at home, saving money before heading out for just 1 or 2 drinks at the bar. Clothing in Norway is pricey. Even basic items like a t-shirt or jeans can cost much more than you'd expect. A good winter jacket? Easily over $200. With $100, you might get 1 or 2 basics, but not a full outfit. That's why Norwegians wait for big sales. Quality over quantity is the rule here. For many Norwegians, high prices at home mean one thing: cross-border shopping in Sweden. They fill up the car, grab empty bags, and head for the border. This is a widespread phenomenon. Thousands make the trip to save on groceries, alcohol, and tobacco. The savings are so significant, they easily justify the journey. To truly understand the appeal of cross-border shopping, One only needs to compare the contents of a shopping cart bought in Norway versus one in Sweden for the same amount of money. The difference is not subtle, it is dramatic. As we have seen, $100 in a Norwegian supermarket buys a surprisingly small amount of food. You might leave with just 2 or 3 bags containing a handful of basic staples. That same $100, when converted to Swedish krona, suddenly gains a whole new level of purchasing power, allowing you to fill your cart to the brim. Let's imagine we are in a large Swedish supermarket like Maximat or Norway supermarket, which are popular destinations for Norwegian shoppers. Groceries in Sweden can be, on average, 30 to 40% cheaper than in Norway. A package of ground beef that might cost $12 in Oslo could be $7 or $8 here. Cheese, chicken and processed foods like frozen pizzas or canned goods are all significantly less expensive. Fresh fruits and vegetables also tend to be cheaper, especially those imported from the rest of Europe due to Sweden's membership in the EU's single market. This price difference allows Norwegian families to engage in what is known as bulk buying. They don't just pick up a few items for dinner, they stock up their freezers and pantries for weeks or even months. The savings on a single large shopping trip can run into hundreds of dollars, making the journey well worth the effort. It allows families to afford a wider variety of foods and larger quantities than they could if they shopped exclusively in Norway. It's a strategy that directly combats the high cost of living they face every day. The visual of a Norwegian family loading up their car with Swedish groceries is a powerful symbol. It represents a practical response to a challenging economic environment. The shopping carts overflowing with food, the extra freezer bags, and the carefully packed car trunks all tell a story of savvy consumers making rational economic choices. It's a clear and tangible demonstration that while Norway offers high wages, the value of that money can be significantly increased by simply crossing a border, turning a simple shopping trip into a strategic financial decision. While cheaper groceries are a major draw, the single biggest motivator for many cross-border shoppers is the staggering price difference for alcohol and tobacco. Norway's state-run alcohol monopoly and sky-high taxes make these products incredibly expensive. Sweden also has a state monopoly for alcohol, called Systembolaget, but its prices are considerably lower. This price gap has turned the alcohol run into something of a national pastime for Norwegians living near the border, a ritualized trip to stock up on beer, wine, and spirits. The savings on alcohol are even more pronounced than on groceries. A case of beer that might cost $60 in Norway could be half that price in Sweden. A bottle of wine that starts at $15 in Vinmonopolet might be available for $9 or $10 in Systembolaget. For spirits, the savings are just as significant. These differences are so large that the cost of a single trip can be recouped by the savings on just a few bottles of liquor and a few cases of beer. There are, of course, legal limits on how much alcohol you can bring back into Norway, but shoppers often buy right up to their duty-free allowance. This has led to the rise of enormous beverage stores on the Swedish side of the border, with warehouses full of beer and wine stacked high, catering almost exclusively to their Norwegian clientele. The scene inside one of these stores on a Saturday morning can be a sight to behold, with Norwegian shoppers navigating oversized carts piled high with cases of beer and boxes of wine. It is a highly organized and efficient system designed to separate Norwegians from their money, albeit at prices they find highly attractive compared to what they would pay at home. Ultimately, the cross-border shopping phenomenon is the clearest possible indictment of Norway's high price levels. It shows that when given a choice, consumers will vote with their wallets. The regular pilgrimage to Sweden for cheaper food and alcohol is more than just a quirky cultural habit. It is a direct and logical consequence of Norway's economic policies. It serves as a constant reminder that while living in Norway has many benefits, the high cost of daily life is a powerful force that shapes the behavior of its citizens in very tangible and predictable ways. In Norway, $100 doesn't go far. It covers just a few days of groceries, a couple of restaurant meals, or a handful of taxi rides. Compared to other countries, your money disappears quickly here. The high cost of living means every purchase is a careful choice. Plan ahead, and you'll enjoy Norway without sticker shock. Why is everything in Norway so expensive? The answer lies in Norway's unique model. High wages, strong social safety nets, and world-class public services. Norwegians pay more, but in return they enjoy stability, security, and an exceptional quality of life. It's the price of a society that invests in its people and believes everyone should benefit from the nation's wealth. Knowing all this, how should you prepare for a visit to Norway? The key is to shift your mindset from one of cost to one of value, and to plan your budget with realistic expectations. The first piece of advice is to save more than you think you will need. Whatever your initial budget is, consider adding a significant buffer of at least 25 to 30% to account for the high daily costs. This will allow you to enjoy your trip without constantly worrying about every single purchase, transforming potential financial stress into a more relaxed and immersive experience. Secondly, embrace the local way of life to save money. This means taking advantage of the excellent public transportation systems instead of relying on expensive taxis. It means considering self-catering options by renting an apartment with a kitchen, allowing you to cook some of your own meals with groceries from a discount supermarket like Rema 1000 or Kiwi. Pack A simple packed lunch of sandwiches for your day trips. Enjoy the free world-class entertainment that Norway offers in abundance. Its breathtaking natural landscapes. Hiking in the mountains or walking through the fjords costs nothing but provides priceless memories. It is also wise to be strategic about your indulgences. You do not have to deny yourself the pleasure of experiencing Norwegian cafe culture or a nice restaurant meal, but perhaps make these planned events rather than daily habits. Set aside a specific portion of your budget for these special treats. Instead of buying coffee out every day, consider it a reward after a long hike. Choose to have one memorable restaurant dinner during your trip rather than several mediocre, expensive ones. This mindful approach to spending will allow you to experience the best of what Norway has to offer without completely draining your bank account. Finally, remember that planning is your best friend. Book accommodations and long-distance train tickets well in advance to secure better prices. Research free museum days or city passes that might offer good value. Understand the rules for bringing in a limited amount of duty-free alcohol if you enjoy a drink. By being a smart and informed traveler, you can navigate Norway's high-cost environment effectively. The goal is not to be cheap, but to be savvy, ensuring your money is spent on the experiences that matter most to you. Norway is expensive, but its beauty, safety, and unique experiences are priceless. From the silent majesty of the fjords to the northern lights and pristine wilderness, the Allure goes far beyond any price tag. The memories you create here will outlast the money you spend, offering a return that's truly priceless.